If you are from Naples, you are not simply Italian, you are Neapolitan. This is a common attitude among the Neapolitan people, reflecting the strong regional identity that has long marked this authentic city. Today, I'll be discussing the sociolinguistic significance of the Neapolitan dialect, a living preservation of the history and culture of Naples spanning centuries. Although Standard Italian is the official language of Italy, Neapolitan continues to make its way into daily conversations and media, a testament to the power one dialect can hold. By definition, a dialect is essentially regional or social variations of a language that are characterized by differences in grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. This typically deviates from one standardized form of a language, and in this case, Neapolitan is a deviation from, you guessed it, standardized Italian. And therefore, it is a circuit of communication that differentiates itself through history, culture, and complex identity. Language acts as a thread binding communities together in subtle yet identifiable ways. In this presentation, I'll be answering the questions of how does the dialect echo history, how does the dialect shape identity, and how is the dialect preserved by culture? To understand the significance of the Neapolitan dialect, it's also important to understand its history. Luckily, the words themselves do a lot of the heavy lifting. Naples was originally founded as a Greek colony in the 8th century BCE, and because of this, the dialect still contains some traces of that ancient Greek, alongside its Latin and Romance language foundation. Linguist Nunciante Rosciano brings attention to the words bastazo and fratanza. Bastazo means a porter, and it comes from the Greek word meaning to support with one's hands. The word fratanza reflects the Greek concept of fraternal organizations. Both of these examples show how dialect can act as sort of a living archive and record of cultural and political influences that shape Naples. The study of sociolinguistics is built upon the way language is utilized to signal certain social and cultural constructs within a speech community. In Naples, the Neapolitan dialect goes beyond just a simple way of communicating. It's an expression of belonging and shared history for the speakers. And despite the fact that Southern Italy has definitely faced more negative stereotypes and perceptions than Northern Italy, the Neapolitans continue speaking their dialect with pride. It is in this way that language becomes a marker of identity. The concept of linguistic identity even traces back to the medieval historical writings from the Cronaca di Partenopea. These writings often serve to express and strengthen group identity, especially during periods when a community's traditional status was changing or perceived to be threatened. The survival of Neapolitan can also be seen through literature and cultural traditions. On the literature side, one example is Elena Ferrante's novel, My Brilliant Friend. Throughout the novel, characters frequently switch between Neapolitan and Standard Italian. This is a practice known as code switching. When a character code switches, it means they switch languages to suit their social environments or differentiate between in groups. So not only is this a physical way that Neapolitan can live on in culture, it's also a reflection of how in dialects, changes in social setting, education, and class can show how languages are used to communicate different aspects of one's identity. Another example is the Neapolitan concept of bezgusto, which refers to clever wordplay. Rather than just being a simple pun, the word represents creativity and has long been an important feature of Neapolitan theater and everyday conversation. These examples go to show how Neapolitan lives on not only in present day, but will continue to live on in the future with the example of the novel and in the way that people communicate daily. These physical forms of documentation are so important because they allow future generations to maintain a connection with their cultural heritage. In conclusion, the Neapolitan dialect is so much more than a shallow tool for communication. It is a window into the soul of a community's history and cultural identity, one that strengthens communities and shows an expression of regional pride. And although Standard Italian is and will likely always be the dominant language throughout the country, the continued use of Neapolitan does show that regional dialects can survive when they remain closely connected to the people who speak them. whether that be through physical media or in the way that we speak on a day to day basis. The dialect continues to serve as a living symbol of Naples' history, culture, and identity. Thank you.